Hey everybody, welcome back. This is Disturbing Puppet, playing some more Blood Bowl 2. So we're going to be continuing my Blood Bowl season here with my High Elf team that I've been playing for a bit here. Have had a couple issues with the stream the last couple times, at least on my end. It looked like there was some kind of a connection error or a server error or something. But when I double checked the video later, the video was fine, so I'm not even sure if it actually cut off live or not. Hoping it didn't, but the video was fine on Twitch later to watch, and my copy of it that I recorded was fine, which I'll then be putting up on my YouTube channel as well. So my older streams are all up on my YouTube channel, previous season with Chaos Dwarf team, a couple of the random games, and then the earlier games of this season with the High Elf team. So basically just got a gaming laptop about a year ago, and sort of decided if I'm going to play some stuff, I might as well stream it, so I've been doing that occasionally. And just kind of messing around. Hopefully people enjoy watching the stuff. What I'm doing with Blood Bowl, because I do have a lot of experience with the board game, playing from 2nd edition on up, and then playing the previous version of the computer game, just kind of including some general tips for people who might be starting out playing the game, but also kind of walking through my thought process as I'm making decisions and what I'm thinking about and stuff like that. My instincts typically are to kind of beat up guys and make openings and go from there, which is sort of a holdover from when I played the board game. I played Undead, and then I've often played kind of more bruiser, heavy-hitting kind of teams. But I do play agile teams as well. With the previous game, I had it on the 360, so it was a little bit limited on some of the teams that were available. But I played all of the different teams on the previous game that were on the 360 anyway. So part of what I've been doing with this one is playing the games that weren't on the 360 versions. I started with Undead, then Chaos Dwarves, now High Elves. And I do enjoy playing the more agile teams. It does give you a lot more options of things you can do. They can pull off really amazing things sometimes, which is kind of cool and fun. But we'll kind of quickly run down the teams here. This is the last game of the regular season. So what I had it set up was there's 8 teams total in the division. I wanted every team to play every other team twice. In this kind of setup, though, it's a couple separate round robins. It doesn't tally it together like the previous game did with the options. So this is the last regular season game playing against the Skaven. And then it'll pick the top 4 teams to go into the playoffs. So it'll just be one playoff game and then the final. Maybe playing the playoff game tomorrow. We'll kind of see how my schedule works out and stuff. I know this is a little bit earlier than I usually stream, so hopefully we'll actually get a decent number of people watching. But I also will put stuff up eventually on my YouTube channel as well, so you can always check things out there too. So let's get into it. If there's any issues or anything come up, definitely let me know. Sound is off or anything like that. So I do have a higher team rating than the Skaven, which does mean they're going to get a bit of money for some star players, which could make things a bit difficult. So to quickly run down my team, I have been beaten up a little bit, especially the last game I actually got kind of beat up a bit. So I am out a couple players, actually 3. 3 catchers are out for this game, which really limits my ability to do stuff. Yeah, that puts me all the way down to 11 guys. Even with 11, my team rating is still much higher than them, which is kind of surprising. So I got my thrower. I've had a few level ups. First level up, I rolled doubles and got strong arm. Then we picked up kickoff return and accurate, so it was really good passing. I've got catchers who are out and won't really matter. The 2 guys that had dodge and block are out, which is really unfortunate. One of my other guys here is out that had nerves of steel and dodge, and then I have 1 guy with nerves of steel and dodge who's still in the game. So I've got a lineman here that leveled up, and I picked up guard, but he's also been injured and lost a point of movement, mainly kind of using him as support. I've got 4 linemen with block, one of whom has lost a point of armor, which isn't a huge deal. 1 blitzer with no level ups who still has block, and 1 blitzer who I picked up a couple things with, picked up tackle and strip ball. So I'll take a look at the opposing team here. Playing against the Skaven. The Skaven are always quite dangerous, so we've definitely got our Rat Ogre. So we have a Gutter Runner with a 10 movement. That's kind of frightening. Take a look at the thrower, pass and sure hands. And we've got Storm Vermins with guard and then tackle. I'm still, even though I've played this game quite a bit, I'm still not used to all of the icons. Some of them I recognize because you see them a lot like block, but I really wish it would just list the names of the skills. Let's see, we've got a Gutter Runner with dodge and wrestle. That's kind of interesting for someone who might be carrying the ball. Got a runner with dodge and horns, which is also weird for someone who's probably handling the ball. Horns would be something you'd probably expect to see on a blitzer or something like that. I do like in this game that it actually models the mutations and stuff. That's pretty cool. And got a runner with dodge. With the Rat Ogre, we've got Frenzy, Mighty Blow, Loner, Prehensile Tail, Wild Animal. He's picked up Juggernaut and Block. Block you have to roll doubles to actually get with most of the big guys, at least in the previous game did. And Break Tackle, so he's going to be a little bit of an issue. Got a lineman with Wrestle and Fend. He actually seems to like Wrestle a lot. Have to keep an eye out for Wrestle. And more guys with Wrestle. He's actually got linemen with just Wrestle. It's kind of interesting. A lot of Wrestle, which kind of is bad for me, having a lot of guys with Block. He's got fast movement, so even if he does go ahead and take both of us down, he'll be able to get up and still do quite a bit. It'll restrict what he can do a little bit. Having Wrestle and then like something like Jump Up or something would be really dangerous. Let me take a quick look at the competition just to see the leaderboard. First place with no losses, no draws. Skaven are actually in second place. We've got Chaos Dwarf and Necromantic. So as long as things don't change, this will be the top 4 teams that will make it into the playoffs. So my High Elves, Skaven, Chaos Dwarves, and Necromantic. But we'll see if things might switch up a little bit. So let me just check the stream really quick. Okay. Alright, let's get to it. I do feel kind of strange that I'm down 3 people and I still have a much higher team rating than them. So, not going to spend any money on anything. He's going to pick up a couple guys. I'll have to take a look at them. Fez is a star player. Yeah, I'll have to take a look when we're setting up and see what kind of abilities and stuff they have. This might be a bit challenging not having my catchers. I do kind of use them as sort of blitzer assistants as well because they have good movement, and as opposed to a lot of other teams' catchers, they do have a 3 strength. A lot of the human teams just have a 2 strength with their catchers. The High Elves having a 3 is really nice. I think the Wood Elves also had a 2 from what I can recall. It's been a while since I played them. But it definitely made it really nice and helpful, and not having them kind of sucks. So we've got a mutation there, looks like. Prehensile Tail. The Horns guy. Ah, it's the Fanatic. We know likey Fanatic. Probably Gutter Runner. Star player as well. Not going to be good. Typically, I will go ahead and kick the ball. I want to get the ball in the second half, so if you don't get the ball the first half, you get it the second half. It just kind of means that I'm guaranteed to get it. If you're playing a weaker team, sometimes you might want to receive the ball first, though, because then it gives you a chance to hit your opponent before they can hit you. It's a little tempting to go for this time, but I'm not going to. I'm going to take a look. This is the ball and chain, just like the regular Fanatic. Disturbing Presence. Okay. Foul Appearance. He's got Disturbing Presence and Foul Appearance. So difficult to block him. I usually will try to just avoid this kind of player, whether it's a regular Fanatic or not. So the star player, 9 movement, only 2 strength, so that means I'm probably going to want to pound him into the ground if possible. He's got Stab, Loner, Dodge, Prehensile Tail, and Shadowing. Okay. So he's a little dangerous. So being down some guys, I've got no reserves over here. Because I'm kicking off, I'm actually setting up first, so I don't actually know what kind of setup he's actually going to do. He's basically responding to me. What I'm going to do is put the minimum number of guys on the front line here. The ones I'll put out will be the ones with block, just in case. Should have more guys with block than that. There we go. Didn't really put the reduced armor strength guy on the front line. Preferably not. I'm going to keep my guy with guard back a little bit. What I want to do is use him on my turn to move him up where I want him. Because of the high agility my guys have, pretty much anybody is potentially a ball carrier, ball handler, catcher, that kind of thing. So being down the catchers really is sort of mainly a movement issue for me. They have an 8 movement, so not having that just means my guys will be a bit slower, more difficult to respond to things, or to shift from one side of the field to the other. So this is kind of more of a typical kind of setup I might do when I'm keeping the minimum number of guys on the front line. I kind of have these guys are going to get pounded, and I have a secondary line. If I'm playing a more bruiser team, I'd have 5 guys filling up this position, or I might have 3 in the center and then 1 out on each end. But you've got higher strength guys or guys with guards, stuff like that. It depends on your teams. But what I'm trying to do is just kind of limit the number of guys who might get hit, keeping as many of my guys free as I can to respond to things. What I'll probably be doing is trying to go after his gutter runners. With the lower strength, I can get advantageous blocks on them. If I can take them out or injure them or anything like that would be very helpful for me. So this is probably what I'm going to do for the setup. Let's see how he's going to set things up. I'm surprised the Red Ogre is not on the front line. That's kind of odd. The X kind of here is sort of the center position, and I'll usually just go ahead and kick for this. I don't have anybody with kick. It does seem like the kicks deviate a bit more in this game than the previous one. It could just be chance or whatever, too. Basically, I just want the ball to stay on the field, so he's got to make a roll to pick it up. The more rolls your opponent has to make, the more likely they're to fail something. So anything I can do to make him have to make more rolls is helpful. Actually, it goes right where I kicked it, which is really unusual. Got a nice day today, nothing weird's going on. Had a blizzard in the last game, which was, I think, the first time I've had that. It lasted the entire game, which is kind of unusual. Here comes the Fanatic. Just hoping for no injuries here. Basically what I'm going to do is just try to get away from him as soon as I can. Never use an Apothecary in a KO. My guys are really expensive, so I picked up an Apothecary to start with. I think my cheapest guys are 70,000 gold, so it did limit kind of the number of blitzers and things I could have when I started with, but I've been able to pick up some money since then, so it's been fine. But you only get that 1 use per game, and kind of saving it for the deaths. Possibly strength or agility reductions. Skaven are pretty dangerous because they're so fast. So there's at least him having to use a reroll. He doesn't have a huge number of rerolls, so if I can make him use them up, that would be good too. Okay, so Blood Bowl, what you want to do is anything safe first, then anything that requires die rolls and stuff like that later. Getting guys up is usually pretty safe, but if you want to dodge people out of a position they're in, say like this guy, I might want to move him away from there. If I want to do that, I'll do that later. Same as here, if I want to dodge away, maybe get him up in a little bit. Got a gutter runner here. Try to tie up. I'd like to throw some blocks on some gutter runners, but I may have to at least have a couple guys go after the storm vermin on the side here and maybe try to break through. Not really any good way through on this side. Kind of moving there, so if I get him up, I can dodge him out in a position where there's no enemy tackle zones, so it's be an 83% chance to dodge, and then I can readjust. So kind of just in case. I am going to keep my thrower back deep just in case. The Skaven are really fast. These guys I want to dodge away from there. I'd like to get this guy away from there, so I'll probably just go ahead and do a blitz and attack on this side and try to get in.
The attacker has an assist.
Yeah, that's unfortunate.
One of them should hit harder next.
Okay, we'll try to get this guy out of position. The blitzer with strip ball I really want to get free because he's really going to be the one I want to go after the ball with if possible. And the prehensile tail doesn't make dodging out easy. So just kind of moving him back so I can use him in case he rushes through somewhere. I don't have a lot of movement because he was on the ground to start with. I could try to dodge around the side here to get through. It's a lot of dodge rolls, so maybe I'll do that, but I want to get him away from this guy first. Trying to get what I can as far as coverage. He could potentially run over here where he's got some assistance. He could try to cut through here. Hard to say what he's going to do exactly. I will try to dodge around the side. I probably shouldn't. It's a lot of dodge rolls. I don't have dodge, but I do have rerolls right now. Did I use a reroll that turn? I don't remember using a reroll that turn. No, I do have dodge. I must have used dodge already that turn. Or that was the dodge roll twice. Yeah, I wish it would show a little bit more previous info there. That is something that when I'm streaming, I do have a lot of experience with the game and stuff, and I will make mistakes. I will miss things occasionally. It just happens, especially when you're streaming and stuff, and you're trying to talk through what you're doing and stuff. It happens. Sometimes weird things happen with the game as well, too. Fanatic's just wandering back and forth. He actually can hit his own guys, too, which is something that hopefully will happen. Make me happy if something like that happens. I love to see that kind of thing backfiring. I may try to hammer this star player who's down here just as a 2 strength. Even if I have a play on the ball, it still might be useful to take out the star player if I can get an injury on him or something. The AI is definitely taking quite a while to decide what to do here. It hasn't really done anything in about a minute.
Ask me again when
There we go. I don't like having these gutter runners here. They're already pretty much in range of the end zone. Practically. I'd have to count it out to be sure, but probably pretty close. He's getting all his gutter runners free and kind of piling them up over here. It makes me wonder if he's going to try to move up. He's just kind of hanging out. Yeah, maybe he'll pull these guys off to try to protect him. Not sure.
That's a solid formation. I want to see the opposing team have a go at the ball now.
He's running a lot of guys down the field here, which I don't like. Doesn't make me happy. You'd think at some point he'd fail a dodge roll somewhere. So he's doing a lot of dodging away from my guys. Yeah, I've got clear lines right to the ball carrier. It's kind of unusual what he's doing here. We'll just get him up to tie up the storm vermin. The ball carrier only has a 2 strength. So I would like to get this guy away from the rat ogre. I think I'm going to end up blitzing the ball carrier here. I've got a pretty good line on it. So I'm just going to move him adjacent to the star player. With my tackle skill, maybe he'll fail a dodge, or maybe I'll get to get a hit in on him at some point. See if we can actually get anything going here. He does have wrestle. Fine if he wants to use it. He'll go down. Yeah, I double-checked wrestle skill beforehand that it doesn't count as a turnover unless I go down with the ball. So that's fine. I don't mind that. I've got the ball free. I've got some people in position. Attempting to try to pick up the ball here. Got a decent chance. It's only a -1 with the lineman here to pick it up. So it'll be a 67%. I've got rerolls. I don't really like leaving these guys here. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and try to pick up the ball here first before dodging out with them. Okay, I've got the ball. So let's see if I can get away from the rat ogre here. Nope. Oh, I hate this fanatic. I'm hoping he's going to fail a dodge roll or something here somewhere, dodging away from my guys. It would be nice to get a turnover that way. Going for the stab and failing, thankfully. Swarming. Going after my ball carrier, but not getting anything there. Hopefully no more. Yeah, just a push. Good, good, good. And blitzing my ball carrier as well. There we go. Double attacker down. Not going down this time, though. Had to get 3 blocks on me to... Oh, that KO, that's not good. Just a push from the Rat Ogre, thankfully. He's got a lot of guys on the ball there. Oh, Frenzy, he's going to hit him again. And another KO. Yeah, getting to that ball is not going to be easy. Really quick, I saw there's a comment from Too Tall Brown. Does Skaven have access to mutations? Yes. I went through the teams before the game started, and he's got a guy with horns, a regular guy that has picked up prehensile tail, and he's also got, I think, somebody else with a mutation as well. And you can actually see them modeled. If I can find, like, one of the gutter runners actually has horns. This guy right here, you can actually see the horns modeled on the figure. Kind of unusual thing to have horns with a gutter runner, but okay, whatever. I played Skaven in the previous game. I can't remember if they had to roll doubles for mutation or if it was always available. I can't remember for sure. Well, this is a giant mess. Yeah, not looking super great here. He's even got somebody with guard adjacent to my guy here, so I have an even block, but I don't have any skills. Doesn't do me much good. And him having 3 guys on the ball is really bad for me. I'm down some guys from knockouts and stuff as well. I do have an advantageous block here against a star player, which I'll take. I don't really have a lot of other good options of anything I can try to do. Nothing super great, anyway. I could potentially dodge out of here and then maybe try to blitz and hit one of the gutter runners that's on the ball. Any chance I can get to hit these guys is always good. With the lower strength, I've got an advantage for blocking dice. I'll keep the thrower here deep just in case. I'm going to go ahead and throw the block here first just to see. So take him down. It'd be nice to do an injury as well. Hey! What do you know? So that's one of his star players out. Out for the rest of the game. That'll help a little bit. Yeah, getting the ball at this point is not going to be easy. I'm kind of down some guys, but yeah, I'm going to go ahead and try to blitz and get out of here and hit this gutter runner that's on the ball. Put another one of my guys next to the ball that way and make it a little bit harder to get to, that kind of thing. Unfortunately, I'm just going to push him here. I will follow up just because I want more people on the ball. It's kind of a bad scenario if he's got so many guys here, and some of these guys do have guard that are free, so he can move people around and get assists. I do have an even block on this gutter runner. I might take that. I'm typically not a big fan of even taking a single die block on somebody. Maybe if I have a big skill advantage, then I might do it. If somebody's carrying the ball, then I'll do it. In this case, not so sure. I've got a single die block here. I don't have any skills. He doesn't have any skills. So that's a little bit safer. I still want to keep guys away from this fanatic if possible. Yeah, we'll try it here. I'm kind of nervous about it. I'll just push him away. Of course, he is the guy with horns, so if he wants to blitz with him, he'll actually count as having higher strength. I don't really see any way I can get that ball. It is not in a good place. At least I'll have to make rolls to pick it up or deal with my guys adjacent to it. So I'll try to throw a block here as well, since I still haven't used the reroll. Stun is helpful, but not super awesome. Yeah, that's pretty much everything I can do. I still have this guy deep. The Skaven are so fast that it can be hard to respond to them sometimes. So I'm going to sort of readjust back to the middle here. That's pretty much all I can do. Just kind of hoping to make it hard for him to get the ball as well. Maybe he'll make a failed dodge roll. Maybe he'll screw up trying to get the ball. He actually succeeded in nailing my guy there. That's very unfortunate. Hopefully he'll hit one of his own guys here. Nope. He somehow surgically strikes both of my guys. Well, he failed. Has to use a reroll. Hopefully he'll fail it again, but not too likely. Hey, there we go. It's a turnover because he didn't catch it, but he lost it, and then the Storm Vermin on the edge here ended up with it. So he does have possession of the ball, which I do not like. I've got one person who can get to him for a block pretty easily. But it'd be better to use him and move him adjacent for an assist than have somebody else block from this side. I really want to get away from the Fanatic if I can. Since he does have block, I'd like one of my blitzers to hit him. This guy could reach him but doesn't have block. But we're going to go ahead and just move my guy with guard adjacent, so it'll help me nail that ball. Hopefully get it free. All these guys I'd like away from this because of the Fanatic if possible. So I could use the lineman, I could dodge down and around. That's a possibility as well. I have so few guys, it's kind of disheartening. The other thing I could do is be to move up the thrower adjacent to the Storm Vermin. Actually, that wouldn't matter. He's got guard. I was thinking I could cancel his tackle zone and then throw a block with an advantage here on the Gutter Runner, but it wouldn't matter because he does have guard. If I want to use him and get a dodge where I don't have to go through a tackle zone, I would have to go for it to hit the ball carrier. So I think what I'm going to do is use him. Yeah, he'll be fine as long as I can make the dodge here. So of course it fails. I have to use a reroll. Something that would happen when we played the board game, we'd often sometimes be looking at, okay, anything but a 1 or a 2, and then you'd roll a 1 or a 2, or anything but a 1. And anytime you would say that, it would seem like you're your luck would disappear. Whatever you didn't want to roll is exactly what you would roll. So we'll take him down here, which is nice. Maybe we'll shove him back. I'm going to stay put, though. I don't want to get into that big mess. Let's see where the ball ends up. Okay. That's not super terrible. Certainly not great either, but it's not super terrible. But I think I'll leave this guy here. It does make him a big target for the Fanatic, just to have additional person on the ball. Got an advantageous block here. I'm going to go ahead and take. Either way, it's a push. Just shoving him around. I'm going to try to dodge the catcher out of here and move him around somewhere. Not sure what to do with my other guys. Get away. I'm going to move him around in a position where if the ball does get free, I'm able to get the ball to him and then he can run into the end zone. Yeah, from here he doesn't have to go for it or anything. If he can get the ball, he can run right into the end zone. But he's also free, so I could potentially use him for blitzes and that kind of thing next turn. Somewhat safe, at least, as far as being away from the Fanatic anyway. Try to get away here. And just for now, sort of tie him up. And then we'll leave him back, sort of the oh crap, last minute sort of thing, in case things go wrong. And that's something in Blood Bowl. If things can go wrong, they will go wrong.
He's coming to help his buddy. That's
That speed will be difficult to catch.
tail, Jim. All you need is the tail.
He's moving his Fanatic away. I haven't made it super easy to get the ball here, just having the number of guys that I have adjacent to the ball make picking it up pretty difficult. But it's turning into a big giant mess here, and he's got more guys than I do, so I'm not sure if I'll be able to get it this turn. We'll see. Making those dodge rolls. Okay, actually that's not a bad situation. This guy does not have guard. So we're going to stand up and cancel his tackle zone. See if we can take out this guy, and then we can pick up the ball, get it to him, maybe run it in. I'm just going to move up my guy with guard here. That way I don't necessarily have to blitz him. He does have block, so it would probably be better to have somebody with block hit him. I'll go ahead and use my blitzer.
off that ball and quickly.
Unity is strength.
Taking him down is definitely helpful. And leave him adjacent to the ball. So what I can use is then maybe him to go pick up the ball, and then I can hand it off. It's tempting to throw some blocks. I do have an advantageous block here. But like I've said before, I have a lot of history playing bruiser teams, and my experience often tends to lead me to throwing blocks when I probably shouldn't. So playing an agile team, I probably should do the relatively safer thing, which is the 83% to get the ball, hand it off, all that kind of stuff. Go for the score, anyway.
Successful handle.
And then from here, I don't even have to go for it at all. We can just run right in. So that actually turned out a lot better than I expected. Things were not looking real good with the number of guys I had knocked out. Skaven kind of beating me up a bit. With agile teams, you can score super fast. The problem is getting the ball away from your opponent. So I really enjoyed playing like the Wood Elves in the previous game, but I did have access to, like War Dancers and Treemen and that kind of thing. So that's another one of his guys off. So that's the Fanatic is now out for the rest of the game, and the other star player he got is also out for the rest of the game. So again, because I scored, I'm kicking off, so I'm setting up first.
Must drive the coach crazy, as his team has just kicked it away. Good boy.
I am down somebody who's knocked out, unfortunately.
The match from the bench.
So I'm going to keep my guy with guard here in the center again. Like I can move him up and then have assists with him. I'm going to keep the minimum number of guys on the front line to minimize the number of guys I have getting hit. Normally I'd have another player kind of in this position for sort of a second line tackle zone coverage, but I am down a guy now at this point. I don't know what he's going to set up at, but this is kind of a typical thing where I'm sort of limiting the number of guys I have that can get pounded right off the bat anyway. So he's actually doing a similar thing, and again, not putting the Rat Ogre on the front line. It's kind of an unusual tactic. It does mean you've got him available for blitzes and stuff. But again, kicking towards the center here, I just want the ball to stay in play, so he's got to make rolls to pick it up. And we both lose a turn from a riot. That means less time for him to try to score with. Skaven can score pretty quickly. If they can make that forward progress this turn. We'll have to run a little bit further than that, though, if he wants to score. That's one thing I think the AI doesn't do quite as good of a job. I think the AI is better in this game than the previous one, but it doesn't kind of pay attention to the number of turns left and how far you'd have to move to have a chance to score, things like that. It does overall, I think, do a much better job, though, than in the previous game. Skill selection is much better. Making decisions about blocking more or blitzing to free up guys instead of doing lots and lots of dodge rolls, stuff like that, I think is a lot better. Poor Blitzer getting hammered here. And another KO. At least it's just KOs, though. That's always much better than any kind of injury. At least with a KO, you've got a chance to come back in the rest of the game. Yeah, really odd that I've got a straight shot right at the ball carrier. It would just be a one-die block, but still. Yeah, I don't have much else. I would like to hammer his gutter runners if I could. just because they're going to be the main people handling the ball. They're super fast. I don't really like them being up and around. So the option here really could be that I could go after some gutter runners, or I can try to throw a one-die block on the ball carrier. He can't score, so what I'm probably going to do is just go ahead and go for making his life miserable and throwing blocks on gutter runners. Probably end up blitzing over here on this gutter runner. Is an easy target I can get to without a problem. I haven't make any die rolls. Move up my player with guard here to kind of deal with these guys a little bit. See if we can get an injury here would be nice. We get nothing. We get a push. I'm not going to follow up because what I want to do is sort of get around in a position where I'm not adjacent to a whole bunch of guys. Can still go after the gutter runners, possibly go after the ball carrier. If I want to, anyway. I haven't seen Skaven actually pass that much, even though they do have throwers. So I haven't really prioritized the throwers quite so much, but it wouldn't necessarily be a bad idea if I can get hits in on him. He's got a 7 agility, he does have sure hands, so if I can take him out of the game, that's definitely helpful for me. So prioritizing your targets is definitely something you want to think about when you're playing. Sometimes you don't have many options other than to sort of hit people and hurt stuff. But you get star player points for that too. So if you have the opportunity, teams like Lizardmen are especially susceptible to that because of the skinks having stunty, and they're pretty much the only people that can handle the ball. So if you can take out all of his skinks, it's really hard for him to, your opponent to actually do anything. So keeping that kind of stuff in mind. I'm trying to get these guys away from the Rat Ogre, but it's a minus to their dodges, so that's why I'm kind of waiting to do it.
Yeah, smells like a good old-fashioned fight.
We manage both dodges amazingly. Just going to pull back a little bit so I might be able to hit one of these guys if they come running through. He can't actually score. He doesn't have the movement. Well, he doesn't, does he? Maybe, actually. If he goes for it a couple times, if you can get the ball to him, then possibly, yeah, with the 10 movement. Yeah, that's insane. Even the 9 is pretty crazy for the Skaven, but having the increased movement is just ridiculous. So we'll see if he actually... He's got a chance at scoring here. We'll see what happens. I was thinking there was no chance at all, just based on the placement and stuff and general movement. But yeah, having the increased movement here, he's got a chance. It's not a great chance, but it's definitely a chance.
Something's happening. Sometimes cute animals like this forget the sport and embrace their wild side.
Well, now he's not. What he needed to do was to hand off or pass to that guy, and then have him run way down the field, making some dodge rolls or something to get through, and going for it to be the only way he could score. So that's one of those things where the AI isn't really going for scores, sometimes paying attention to the turn limits and stuff. But like I said, overall I do think the AI is much better in this game than the previous one. This is his last turn of the half. Then I'll have my last turn, which I'm pretty much just going to use to hit people if I can. Hopefully get some injuries would be nice. If I can reduce his number of gutter runners or something, that would be helpful. And potentially target the thrower too. And the thrower does have a 3 strength, so I do need to use 2 guys to hit him if I want to do that. It's certainly doable. I'd have to use a blitz to do that. I'm just looking if there's anywhere else I'd rather blitz. Could use my blitzer, blitz from prone position here, and then hit the gutter runner. That's probably a better block because I do have the block skill, so it does help me take him down. Increases the chances anyway. Got my other blitzer free out here. I could have some advantageous blocks as well. Yeah, so you can blitz if you're down. You just have to do it before you actually do the stand-up. So I'm actually going to go ahead and do that and hit the gutter runner here.
He didn't see the opponents around him, did he?
No, somebody must have assist. Oh no, I just don't have anybody canceling the tackle zone for the Rat Ogre, which is why it's 1 die. It's fine. Hoping to get injuries, so really just kind of targeting those gutter runners if I can. So just do any blocks where I have an advantage here and hopefully get something going. This is bad because I don't have block. And that's bad because that's double attacker down. So that'll be the end of the half. So even with rerolls, blocking dice can not be your friend sometimes. That's something I do have that propensity, I think, to block too much. But sometimes there's not much else you can do. Because of my choice earlier, now I'll be getting the ball for the second half, so hopefully I can score. I'd like to also burn some time off the clock if I can in doing it, but I'm not sure I'm able to do that because I'm getting so beat up.
Best defense is a good offense. Good way around.
It's kind of a weird setup here. So this is his setup because he's kicking to me, so I know exactly how he's got things arranged and worked out. So it does let you, if you're getting the ball, sort of plan things a little bit. You can stack up on guys to get assists to start with, stuff like that. I'm kind of low on guys though, so it's not something I can do very well. What I'll probably want to do, if I can attack on this side, maybe would be the better choice. Since he doesn't have anybody adjacent right on the line here, it's fairly safe to move up. It also means it's less distance for me to cover, to score. Do have my player with guard I could throw into the front line. But he does have guys with guard as well.
That ball's starting to look a little tatty. When are they going to replace it?
I don't know, Rob, and I know what you're doing. You just want me to set you up so you can shout, "New balls, please!"
Yeah, we can put him in on this side. That way I'll have an assist for a block here, assist for a block here. So if I'm planning on attacking this side, that would be the way to go. I'm only going to keep my thrower back. He does have kickoff return. And potentially any of my guys are potential receivers because of my decent agility. The catcher, of course, is way better at it. And I may keep him in this position as well if I'm going to attack on this side, having him a little bit closer. I can lap him around. I may even move him up here. Yeah, to potentially tie up guys down there. Yeah, it's kind of a lopsided setup, but sometimes you'll do that in response to the way your opponent sets up, or if they have a big guy on the front line, you might change your positioning, or if you have guys with Dauntless or things like that, you want to place them opposite. So paying attention to setup for the start of the turns is actually a really important thing. The ball's going to actually land right on the front line, which is pretty weird.
I'd like to see something happen, or I'm just going to go and watch Game of instead.
Yeah, that's not great. I don't really like having a lineman with the ball, especially right on the front line like that, but at least I have the assists and stuff here. Yeah, really don't like that. Gonna have to do something about that. But anything else I can do, I want to do first.
Now that's a holding maneuver, if ever I saw one.
Yeah, not liking having that ball on the front line like that. That is not something I'm a fan of at all. Okay, we'll see if we can clear away this guy with guard here. Nope. This guy with guard. Yeah, okay. Yeah, unfortunately, I don't have anybody with block who can go up against this guy, which would be nice. He doesn't have block, so it's not super necessary. It just helps take somebody down if you have that skill. Just going to see if we can tie up some guys here. Go ahead and use my guy with guard to actually throw the block.
To be well assisted in fight.
So now I'm in a position where I could move it back and hand it off to the thrower. I could also build a cage around the ball carrier, kind of where he's at. I could try to move over and do that. But for right now, I'm just going to go ahead and attack here, try to take out this thrower if I can. So I could potentially build a little bit of a cage here to protect the ball carrier. I could build a cage here to protect the ball carrier. I could hand off the ball to the thrower, which is probably the most sort of conservative, safest thing I could do. and then move him way back if I wanted where he's totally safe. And then what I could do is sort of move him one direction, and then if they chase that direction, I could then move over and toss to somebody who might be free to run down. That's a tactic that works fairly well. I'm relatively quick enough to do that. It is a lot safer than running the ball. But I can relatively safely move up to here. I could move my thrower here to have some additional assistance protecting the ball for now. So maybe for now we'll go ahead and hold on to the ball.
That there are all Skaven leagues played in great taverns underground. The teams are back.
And actually I probably should have moved him to this position here just to have some better coverage.
You lost me after Bob. Jim, don't
But now I'd have to go for it to do it, so that's okay. Yeah, we'll call that good, and we'll see what he can do. You just have that rat ogre free. He's the main one I'm kind of worried about.
They're getting up close and personal, Bob.
You need to be close. So close they can smell your breath and see the dead insects in your teeth.
Actually swarming my poor lineman here. Comes the blitz, unfortunately going for my passer. Hopefully he doesn't get hurt.
This player keeps on going and going.
Okay, no injury, so that's good. But having someone with prehensile tail next to my ball carrier, not so good.
They're gathering around that lone player, like halflings round a sandwich. Look up. Intimidation is the key. Strikes and irons.
He's having a lot of success with these one-die blocks, and I often won't even try for a one-die block myself, just because of the chances of things going horribly wrong. Well, this is not great. I could actually get an advantageous block on the rat ogre here. So I think that's actually what I'm going to do. We'll stand him up, give me 3 assists, and then I can charge over, doing a blitz action with him, hit him, hopefully knock him down, which will free up these guys and the ball carrier. Just looking at anything else I want to do first. And so important things first, we'll go ahead and try to take out the guy next to the ball carrier.
Is the assist going to be enough to come out?
Yeah, I'll take him down, that's nice.
One less glorious with you.
Actually, I could even try to foul him, being down where he's at. Not with the same player, but this turn. So kind of moving over here so I'd have an assist if I want to throw a block there. I'm not sure where I want the ball to end up here. There aren't a lot of good positions I can go for. go for the block and just see what we can do. Just looking at trying to tie up guys here or have guys free to cover my ball carrier if I move down the field some more. And I'll just keep moving ahead here. We can put a few guys on. I should be able to dodge out of here with him as well to have an additional person covering the ball. Or I could leave him sort of tying up some people here on the edge if I wanted to. Or we can fail our dodge roll. Just going to move in a position where I have additional protection. It's tempting to kind of move up and tie up some guys, but he's still going to be able to attack me and get a few guys on this ball carrier.
Is about to get punched above and below at the same time.
Just taking advantageous blocks where I can. I'll free up another guy here too.
Right next to a teammate.
Give me another advantageous block.
Decisive.
Yeah, I am going to follow up. It's a little bit dangerous kind of position, but having guard would be nice to sort of tie these guys up a little bit. I now have nobody deep in case things go wrong. So if he can get the ball away from me, I am in a bit of danger here. Just because Skaven are so fast, but pretty much all his gutter runners are kind of right here. If he had some people further down, he might be able to get the ball free and then run it really far down the field, hand it off to another one, and then get it really far towards the end zone. But most of them are kind of clumped all together here. So I'm hoping I can keep possession of the ball here. Kind of running down the field this way too also is burning some time off the clock. If I'm passing, then it's usually just 1 or 2 turns for me to score. Since the Skaven run, it often takes them a little bit longer, sometimes 2 or 3, kind of on average, to score. Well, here comes a blitz with a gutter runner, which means he's at a strength disadvantage, I think, isn't he? No, the horns gives him the 1 dice. But just a push. And there's a turnover. I like to see those turnovers pop up every once in a while when the opponent is playing anyway. So get my guy with guard back up. We'll leave him there. We'll have some advantageous blocks. We've got advantageous block. Unfortunately, no skills here. 3 dice, so hopefully we can get something. I'll take him out. And just a push.
Well done. You held the ball carrier.
I'll throw a block here and see if I can free up another guy. Kind of move down and help out with the whole situation. I do have tackle, so we'll take that. thought he had dodge, he just had wrestle. Sort of getting more of my guys down here, protecting the ball, dealing with his guys that are down there. Probably going to blitz and hit the lone gutter runner kind of here in the middle, and then we can try to adjust a little bit. I've got a couple more advantageous blocks to throw. I'm going to go ahead and do the blitz first. And what I'm going to do is move in a position where I might be able to push this gutter runner off the field. He's also relatively protected. This isn't quite so great because he does have skills and I don't. So we'll go for this one first, where we both have block. And we'll try for this. And we'll take him out.
At the same time.
And I can't remember for sure if I've used a reroll this turn. I don't think I have. I'll go ahead and throw a block here. And he'll probably use wrestle. That's everybody I've got. So we're kind of grinding our way down the field here a little bit. Well, not really grinding. We're moving relatively quickly, actually. But trying to burn up some time.
Not a wise place to end your turn on the border of the pitch.
Wild animal is going to stay on the ground.
Well, last time that happened, it took 3 days to piece the body back together.
There's a failed dodge roll. Fail it again. Yeah! That's what I like to see. Turnovers is what I like to see. And he got stunned too. So kind of moving up here just in case things go wrong. You always sort of want to prepare for the worst. We do have some good blocks here I'll probably want to throw. And I'm actually just going to block here with my ball carrier just to push this guy off the field.
That's it. Throw the ball in their face. That range they'll go down as if you were flinging a brick into them.
Yeah, I'm going to push because I want him off the field. Even if he doesn't get injured that way, he's out until play stops. Then what I can do is blitz and try to toss this guy off the field as well. All I need is a push. And we get a KO. But he's out until play stops anyway, no matter what. Hoping to get some injuries there would have been nice. And just kind of do this when you get an injury or something. It looks like you're done with that player, but if you haven't used up your movement, you still can do stuff with him. It just doesn't look like it. So if you just click on him, it's fine. So now I have an additional block there, block here. I've got good blocks here. So right now I'm actually in a pretty good position where I can sort of stall for a little bit. Just to sort of hurt him, do what damage I can. And there's an injury, that's nice. I'll take him out for the rest of the game.
Ouch. Must really hurt.
Now things are kind of turning my way, it feels like, anyway. Felt like I was getting beat up pretty bad there early on, but going pretty well now. Use my guy with block here. Unfortunately, we're pushing him towards my other players. So I still have a block down here, but I also have some guys free, so it is sort of tempting to maybe go for a foul on the Rat Ogre with these three. Go ahead and do this block first. I don't foul that often, but every once in a while it's just seems appropriate. You can also push people off from the end of the end zone, so if I can push him towards the edge, I can also knock him off this way. So that's why I decided to just go that direction. There's also the Gutter Runner that's down here, so I could go for a foul on the Gutter Runner instead. Probably would want to use my lineman here that hasn't gotten a level up yet to do it. If he's out for the rest of the game, so be it, but if he gets it, that means they'll level up. So paying attention to your level ups and stuff is definitely useful. It'd be more useful to have the Rat Ogre out for the rest of the game, or at least not in play next turn. But it's a lot easier to take out someone with 7 armor than 8 armor. Yeah, I think we'll go for the Gutter Runner here. %72% chance. Nothing. Okay. Well, that'll be it for me, I guess. Kind of hoping he would fail his wild animal roll there with the Rat Ogre again, but not this time. Got a bunch of guys recovering here. So here's something that I will never do is go for an attack with a strength negative like this. It's actually going to go bad for him here. But often it goes well for the AI. When your opponent is choosing which die roll comes up, it's not a good thing. So here I can just go ahead and score. Just looking at whether or not I want to actually throw any blocks anywhere, do anything else. At least got a block there I wouldn't mind doing. It does mean I'll have to prepare for the block going horribly wrong, just in case. I could get an advantageous block on the Rat Ogre as well. think I might do that too, actually. I'll have to blitz to do it. I use the guy up here with block. So we'll just set that up as well. In case things do go horribly wrong, we're going to move my catcher to sort of protect the ball carrier a little bit. So the plan is he'll be blitzing him, pushing him towards the edge. We'll do a block here, and then we'll probably just go ahead and go in the score.
Come on, guys, together.
Things are going well enough that I could potentially even stall for a bit longer, which is not something I'd usually do against a human opponent, but against the AI, sometimes, if you can really whittle him down and beat on his guys. Oh, nice double attacker down. And then when they're down, you can also foul them, things like that.
Pushing.
Yeah, not in a bad position. I might stall a bit longer here. Skip scoring right away. Just going to see how the blocks I have go. Still a one-die block. I've used my reroll. I'm not going to push it, even though I have the skill. Yeah, so it's really tempting here just to go ahead and score, and probably I should, but I'm in a good position where I might be able to knock this guy off the field, and that would be really, really helpful. So I'm going to stall here for a turn, and we'll kind of see what happens. Move a little bit further away from his other guys. I'd like to at least knock that Rat Ogre off the field and have the fans, beat him up and maybe get an injury or something on him.
He's sprinting. Let's hope it's going to be okay.
He made his going for it. Rolls.
Break some legs, please. It's just speedy.
And if he just gets a push here, it will end up in me getting a touchdown.
Play a forced possession away from the ball.
Oh, gonna lose the ball. The danger here on the edge, if the ball goes loose, is that if the ball ends up off the field, it gets tossed in kind of randomly, and it can really ruin your plans. There, it just kind of ended up on the edge. But if you have a lot of your guys on one side of the field, the ball ends up out and gets tossed to the other side where your opponent has more guys and you have fewer, it can really be a huge problem. Adds a lot of kind of chaos to the circumstances, and there's already a lot of chaos in Blood Bowl. So going after the ball is probably my main priority here. The angle you come in for a block does dictate where you can move somebody, so I'm kind of looking at pushing people away from the ball here, so I wanted to come from this side. Also looking at getting more guys adjacent to the ball if possible. This is what, my 14th turn. I could potentially go for picking up the ball here, but I think I'm just going to sit for now. And it's a little dangerous, but I'm actually going to move I really don't want to leave him there for that, though. I don't think I have any other choice. If I want to get a 2-die block here, I've got to move somebody in a little bit of a dangerous position.
That's a dangerous place
So
to
we'll
be.
just see, all I need is a push. See if we can push him off the field here. Alright, that'll work. See if we get an injury or anything. Definitely staying put.
Into the crowd.
Looks like no injury, though. Move more people onto the ball. And to kind of protect him, I'm actually going to move someone else adjacent to him. The only way you can knock someone off is if you block directly opposite from the edge. So if I have someone here, it does sort of protect him a little bit. Just keep pounding on these guys, hoping we'll get a stun or a knockout or something. Move up my guy with guard for the assist. See if we can take out the guy with guard.
Gathering around that lone player.
Both have blocks, so nothing there. And a lot of space and nobody in it. So hoping that he does have these guys that'll get up this turn, that we can get to the ball. Should be pretty hard for him to pick it up with the number of guys I have adjacent to the ball. He doesn't have a lot of guys there to push them away.
Unity is strength.
Is this going to be enough to come out on top?
Twinkle toes there. If the player is pushed, it will finish in the public. And in general, fans are much more dangerous than players.
So you can see him getting a little bit of an upper hand there in the middle. So I'm just going to get these guys up to tie him up, and then we'll see what I can do about taking care of these gutter runners. If I blitz somebody and then pick up the ball, I could then hit him and maybe knock him off the field. I already have an advantageous block there, so really this guy on the edge is the problem. Just moving more guys in. Kind of setting up some blocks and things there.
You need to be close. So close you can smell your breath and see the dead in
Trying to tie up these guys as well. So I'm going to wait here. I might want to do something with him. So we're going to see if we can clear out some guys here first.
so am I. Just one more step.
Yeah, so I'm going to do something a little bit crazy here. Gonna blitz and pick up the ball. Hopefully.
One's getting fired in the morning.
And then we're gonna knock him off the field. Hopefully.
Oh, he's going to get hit.
Yeah, and I'm down to, this is my 15th turn, so this will also level this guy up. Yeah, we'll just have him go ahead and score. Or no, it won't be enough. 1 point short of scoring, or to level up.
I'll eat that ball. The losers win with time left.
So now he's just going to have 2 turns, and he'll be down by 2 points. Still have my guy knocked out. But I managed to get some additional injuries in that rally and everything. Knocked out guy stays knocked out. So we did a little bit of damage there.
About to start the next bout, and none of the KO players have woken up. Lazy gits.
They've kicked the ball to the opponents. Now it's time to think defensively.
So again, I don't know what his actual defense is, so we're just going to doing the standard setup. Minimum number of guys on the front line to get beat up. All of them with block. Keep my guy with guard back a little bit. I have to call that good, so he'll have a couple turns here, see what he can do. He does have some pretty fast guys, so it's possible he can score in 2 turns. Hoping that doesn't happen.
But it's okay. Some say it's perfect for playing Blood Bowl. I call it.
Did not go very far. He is out of rerolls too, so we might get him with some turnovers here if he's making a lot of dodge rolls and things like that.
Tries to secure the ball.
I have to watch for where his 10 movement gutter runner goes.
Well done. They have the ball.
Unfortunately, he got the ball there without a problem. His 10 speed guy might not be on the field anymore, actually. But all of them with the 9 movement is just crazy. So if they can get even a little bit over the line here this turn, they can actually score.
He won't leave him alone anytime soon.
But I don't think he pushed him that far to be able to do that.
They're building a cage around the ball. Solid tactic. Look up. Intimidation is the key. Strength and
And I just have the 1 turn here, so basically I'm just going to do any blocks that I can, see if I can hurt anybody.
safety in numbers.
Just looking for where I can cause the most problems with my player with guard here. He does have reduced movement, so it does make it a little harder to get around sometimes. I don't need him out on the edge because the gutter runner's got reduced strength anyway. I already have an advantage here. I don't have the movement to get around to this position without having to go for it.
Haha, here's some.
Not great positioning, but not a whole lot I can do. Go ahead and blitz out here on the edge, see what we can do with the gutter runner. Moving to that position, I didn't want to be here with multiple guys on me, if possible. Try to avoid that if I can.
The attacker has an assist.
What I'm going to try to do is limit the number of my guys that can get hit on the last turn here if I can, since I'm not too concerned with him being able to score. I don't want to have anybody get killed or horribly injured at the last moment. I do have the apothecary still, but you can have multiple injuries happen in a turn without too much problem.
Yeah, smells like a good old-fashioned fight.
I'd like to get these guys away from this rat ogre as well. Let's see if we can make the dodges. And we're just going to leave him hanging out. Do have a reroll left, so I could throw another block here with one die if I wanted to. And I guess since I got the reroll, we'll do it. If I didn't have a reroll, I definitely wouldn't bother. And we're not going to follow that up. So we just have a few guys here that are adjacent who could get blocked. Other than that, he just has the one blitz for the turn, and that's it. So just trying to limit the amount of damage I can take on the last turn here.
You know, I often think Blood Bowl might be better if we just got rid of the whole ball thing and got straight to the mating.
That would be blood. Without the blood. It's just blood. You can see that.
Can? Let's go there.
These Skavens are just too fast. Look at them.
And a wild animal failure at the end of the game.
So many touchdowns, Jim. I've lost count. I mean, I can only count to 3 anyway.
It started off a little tough, but was actually able to get things going pretty well there. I actually didn't pass at all that game. Kind of surprising. I got a 1. Yeah, I'll reroll that. I got a 2. Exciting. So 8 armor breaks, 7, 1 expulsion. Look at the stats real quick. Yeah, ball possession, both of us were actually pretty low. 45 blocks, 2 injuries, 37, 4 KOs, 64 yards running. Yeah, pretty good mix of star player points there. A couple touchdowns, a couple injuries, and the MVP. So that'll put the end at me at the top, and then we've got Skaven, Chaos Dwarf, and Necromantic. Nothing really changed for the lineup there. Although I would think, since these guys are tied, 4 wins and 3 losses, the team with the higher team value would go to the playoffs? I'm not sure. So yeah, the playoffs are next, which is basically just the top 4 teams. So it'll just kind of be like 1 playoff game and then 1 final. So yeah, I'm not sure. Just the way it has listed here, it'd be Necromantic, but based on the scores, or the stats, for wins and losses and team value, I would think Goblins would actually be in, but it might be something to do with the number of touchdowns that were scored in the games. I'm not sure.
X3 sponsoring the sport when you were playing, Bob?
Well, polishing cream manufacturer? No. I got no idea where these guys came from.
Yeah, so this is that second round robin. So this is the beginning of the playoffs. We'll take a look. We're actually going to play the exact same team again. Oh, wonderful. Yeah, so Necromantic instead of Goblins going in. So yeah, the first playoff game will be my team against the Skaven again, which I just played, and then Chaos Dwarf against Necromantic. Looks like I had nobody level up. But I will have all my players back, which is nice. I could go ahead and pick up another reroll. It does increase my value, which will then give him even more money for star players and things like that. 5 is pretty good. What I could just do, because anything over 150,000 adds to my team value anyway, I could go ahead and add maybe a cheerleader and a coach's assistant, because then it'll be the same team value as it is now, and I'll just have spent the money and actually have some advantages. So I'll just go ahead and do that. Yeah, so we'll have everybody back, so that'll be cool. So next will be the first playoff game. I'll probably be doing that tomorrow, as long as my schedule doesn't cause any issues or anything. But that'll be about it for today, so thank you very much for watching. I appreciate it. My earlier games for this season and previous season and other games that I play, I'll put up on my YouTube channel, which is also Disturbing Puppet. So if you're interested in earlier games or something, please check that out. I really appreciate you guys watching. Thank you very much, and hope to see you next time.